What if I told you you don't need to learn 10 different places? Many start but get overwhelmed and unmotivated. Global Genius brings everything to full stack course. Go from zero to job ready. Start learning with Global Genius.
Welcome back to my channel. In today's class, we'll be building a student grade analyzer using JavaScript arrays. As you can see on your screen, the question is on your screen already and the array is being given. So create an array containing the following student scores. The array is a student score. What is it that this program is supposed to do? Number one, it's supposed to display all the scores, display the total number of students, calculate and display the total scores, calculate and display the average score, find and display highest score, find and display lowest score, count how many students score 70 or above, count how many students score below 50. Create a new array containing only scores above 70. Create a new array containing only scores below 50. Sort the scores from lowest to highest. Sort the scores from highest to lowest. That is part A. Then down to the part B is create a function called getGrade. Then this function is supposed to return numbers between 90 to 100 are supposed to be B. It's supposed to return A rather. Numbers in the range of 80 and to 89 is supposed to be B. 70 to 79 is supposed to be C. 60 69 should be D. 50 to 59 should be E. Then anything below 50 should be F. Written already. Let me just explain this. So let's dive in. The array is being given. These are student scores. We'll be making use of cost instead of let for now. Cause scores which is being given. Then our number one thing we are supposed to do is display all scores. Console.log will help us do that. Total number of students, we are supposed to display the total number of students, and we are going to use the length property to do that by its score. So we'll do score.length to give us the total number of the students. Then number three is to calculate and display the total score. You're supposed to display the total score of the student, and we'll be using for loop for that because we want to check each of the value in the array. That's why we'll be using for loop. So we create a variable for it. Then this let I equals to 0 semicolon, let I less than our length, then I plus plus. Let me explain. This let I equals to 0 actually means start counting from 0 because array always starts from 0, not 1. So if you start counting from 0, then this array less than this I less than score.length, that is the number of students. So it actually means keep looping while I is less than the number of students in the array. Then plus plus actually mean you keep adding to this, keep looping till this I less than score.length is false. And this is what we want to do. We want the total. We want to get the total score, which is total plus equals to the score what we want to get the total of, what we want to get the total. Then we'll console it. Average score, number 4 is to get the average score. Average score is actually, first of all, we'll create a variable for it. Average score is actually the total. You divide it by the length, you divide it by the number of the student or anything you want to find the average of. In this case, is the number of students we are going to divide it by. Number 5 is to find the highest score. We will be using mass dot max to do that. When you use the method max, it will give you the maximum, that is the highest score. But when you use max dot minimum, min, it will give you the minimum, and that is the lowest. Number 7, we are supposed to count. We want to count all the students that has 70 and above, that is score greater than or equals to 70. Then we give it an variable. Let's count above 70 equals to 0. We're going to use loop like I said earlier. We'll start from 0, then we'll keep on looping. We keep on looping while I is less than the length of the score. And this I plus plus determines when this loop will stop. Then this is the condition we have given it. Then if this score is actually, if score is greater than or equals to 70, add it to the variable we have created already. Then we display it console.log. The number 8 is count scores below 50. We create a variable for it. We'll do the same thing. We'll start from 0 and we keep on looping while I is less than the length. I plus plus determine when the loop will stop. Since the condition is true, we'll run what is inside. If score is actually is actually below or less than 50, we'll score it in the variable provided. Count below 50 is the variable. Then we'll console it. Number 9, create a new array containing only scores above 70, and we are going to use that with filter property. Element that matches a condition. Return a new array with element that matches that particular condition. That is what this property does. That is what this filter method does. So that's the conditional function there. That's the conditional function. Then inside that is the arrow function. Inside the arrow function, we are saying if score is actually above 70, should have their own array. Put them in one array. Then scores number 10 is scores that are below 50. Put them in other array. Scores that are above 70, put them in different array. Scores that are below 50, put them in different array. Then we want to sort. We want to fish out something. We want to sort this array from lowest to highest. We'll be using sort method to do that. We'll be using sort method to do that, which we have passed in the parameters. We'll be using sort method to do that, and this arrow function a minus b is actually the ascending order. That is from lowest to highest. Then number 12 task is want to sort from highest to lowest. We'll be doing, that is the reverse of it, b minus a. That will give us the descending order of the array. Now we have come to the part B of the question. To get part B of the question is actually a greet function block of code that perform a particular task. Function is a block of code that perform a particular task, and this task we want it, this function now, we just want it to do what? We return grade of scores for us. Then we'll start our logic. If score is greater than or equals to 90, return A. Else if score is greater than or equals to 80, return B. Else if score is greater than or equal to 70, return C. Else if score is greater than or equals to 60, return D. Else if score is greater than or equals to 50, return E. Else return F, and that means anything below 50 should be F. So we display the student scores and their grade. We use for loop for that. We'll start like I've been saying, we'll start from 0, then we'll keep on looping while I is less than the length. While I is less than the length, then the I plus plus is actually what will determine when the loop will stop. Then we'll console.log to the grade, and we are calling the function. So now we are going to execute the results. Okay, here is the result of the code. We'll start. Here's the result of the code. The first thing we wanted to do is to display the total student, like display all scores, which is the first thing that is there. Display all scores. Display all scores is the first thing. Then display the total number of students. Total number of students is 10. Display the total score. Total score is 695. Then the average is 69.5. The highest score is 92. The lowest score is 39. So as you can see, students scoring 70 or above is 5. Below 50 is 2. Then the array we did, that anything 70 above should be putting in one array, is this is it. 75, 82, 90, 88, 92. Then below 50, 45, 39. Ascending order, which we use the sort property to do. Look at it, is ascending from 92, 90, 88, so forth, then descending the same. Then the function we did, score is 92. Score is 92, which is supposed to be grade A. Then score is 90, which is supposed to be grade A also. 88 B, 82 C, and so forth. And you can see grade F, we had scores below 50. That is why it's giving us grade F. 45 is below 50. So we have come to the end of this class.
Follow Code with V, comment, and share.